Chrissy here from PopCultureMadness.com. Can you introduce yourselves to our site visitors? Although I'm sure you don't need much of an introduction.
Hey, this is Michael Franti here on Pop Culture Madness.
Great. Well, first off, can we talk about the new album, All People, and the recording process a little bit with that? Maybe if you could take one or two songs in particular and tell me what the mindset was like in the studio.
Sure. Well, the first song, All People, was one that we did at my house in San Francisco, and on the road. We take our laptop with us everywhere we go. We just record into the laptop. And so a lot of times it'll be like in a room like this, so we'll just set up. And in fact, I think we recorded some of the record in that room next door.
Oh, really?
Yeah, last time we were here. But that song is like a combination of dance music but with acoustic guitars. And so I love the sound of the acoustic guitar. I love like traditional music that makes people dance. Like I love Irish music, I love gypsy music, I love like folk music that gets people up and jumping around. And so we wanted to combine that sort of like acoustic guitar thing with dance beats. And the song itself, All People, is about the celebration of diversity. It's like when I was a kid, I was given up for adoption at birth, and I was raised by the Franti family, and they had both my parents were from Finland originally. They came to America, and they had 3 kids of their own, and then they adopted myself and another African American son. So I grew up in this very unique setting in this household with 5 kids that were different heights, different colors. We had one sister who was a lesbian, and my mother was like very insistent that all of us kids be treated the same. And that's what that song is about. It's about a celebration of diversity, not just saying that we should tolerate difference, but that we should celebrate difference, and that being different is good. That's what makes the world a better place.
Absolutely. What is it like from you, from an artist's perspective, now to know that your music has kind of spread the message of that diversity? Because it does. Like, it's so uplifting to all people, and it definitely makes people feel like they want to be a better person.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Well, I defer all that to my mother. That's what she instilled in me. And my mom was a very tough lady. She really believed in she was a strict disciplinarian, but she really believed in letting all of her kids have the wings to go off and express themselves and fly on their own and be their own independent person. And that's what I always. I try to parent my kids the same way. Express yourself, be the person you are. Don't listen to what everybody else tells you that you have to be, but be the person that you are. And so that's really the message of this record and on a lot of the songs.
So I did read that you collaborated with some other writers on this album. That was a little bit of a step in a new direction for you. How did that feel creatively?
Well, I never had written with any other writers outside of my band in the past, and I always thought, God, if I write with somebody else, the song's going to become so much more about them than it is about me. And when I write, it's like a very emotional thing. I usually write in the middle of the night when it's really dark. There's nobody around to hear. I can sing as loud as I want, or I can make up things and just feel it come out without a lot of filtering. And as the day gets more into the day, and the more people I'm around, the more shy I become. And so going to write with somebody else, you walk into a room and you say hello, and they go, my name is whoever, and let's write a song. And for me, it's kind of like speed dating. It's kind of like somebody saying hey, my name's Matt, let's have sex. And, oh, okay. And sometimes it was really great from the start. You'd feel like this magic would occur, and you feel like, this is a really positive experience. And other times it was more difficult to try to get to that place, but I always learned a lot from each experience. So every person that I wrote with, even though some things didn't end up making it onto the record, I always took something away from the experience that was really became a part of who I am as a songwriter. So it's good.
So on a personal level, I look at music as a universal language, and it's something we can all speak and understand, even if we take a different message away. And I'm curious, from an artist's perspective, from you, in what ways does music speak to you, and when did it first start speaking to you? Well,
it started speaking to me as early as I can remember. My house, we always had the radio on, whether we were at home or in the car, and I just listened to top 40 stations and stuff. But my father loved to listen to jazz. My mom, they both love classical music. my my two sisters played violin. One of my brothers played trumpet and piano and guitar, and the other one played saxophone. And I played basketball. I was the only one that didn't play anything. But it was always around me. And I remember, especially as a teenager going through rough times, it was like the songs that got me through it, you know. I would listen to the radio, and I would tape things off the radio, and I'd learn every word of it. And you know, when things were difficult in our family or whatever, I would just imagine myself going somewhere else with the music, you know, like what would it be like to be in a band and traveling around the world and just seeing things for the first time. And I never imagined that would be my life.
Is it still surreal for you now?
Still, yeah. I mean, it's like I feel so much gratitude every day, you know, like we wake up here and you know, you've been to the Electric Factory before, and we come back here and it's like, wow, we're returning to this place again. We never thought we'd be here once, you know. And yet here we are again, and it's great. And music has taken us as a band to, you know, many countries and continents. But every single place that we go, whether it's in a different country or not, it's always different. You know, every single night it's different. You meet different people, you encounter different situations, and it's very, very, you know, it's really exciting. We're really grateful.
So what kind of touring do you have for the rest of this year? I know you have the Soulshine Festival in Bali coming up in December. Is there anything else on the agenda?
Well, we're really excited about that. We're also super excited about Rombello, which is like November 1st through 5th, and it's like a floating festival at sea on a cruise ship, you know, and there's like about 20.
That's fascinating.
You got to be there. G Love's going to be there. I don't even know all the other acts. Trevor Hall's going to be there, I think. But there's about 20 different bands who are on this boat, and for fans, we've done it before. It's like the best thing for fans because it's like the ultimate backstage party, you know, at sea, because you're with the bands all day long, you know, whether we're just sitting there eating or hanging out on the deck or swimming in the pool or at the beach. Like the fans and the bands are mingling all the time, and so it's great for both of us as bands and as fans.
Absolutely. I think it's great too. I see that you're so like not afraid to get down and interact with your fan base, and that really sticks with people. And I think it's so important that, you know, artists aren't hid behind this shroud of mystery or something.
Mm-hmm. You know, I was a kid and I worked the doorman at this place called the Kennel Club in San Francisco, and you know, so I would see all the bands that came and went, you know, and every night it would be a different thing. You know, one night it would be like, you know, like the Wailers would come through, and the next night it would be Fishbone, the next night it would be Jane's Addiction, the next night it would be, you know, Meat Puppets or something. All these, like, such diversity of, you know, punk rock, reggae, hip-hop, funk, whatever. Every night would be different. And I would see the bands that would be really engaged with the fans, and that would be nice to the staff, you know, when we came in, and we'd always remember them. You'd be like, oh, yeah, Perry, great to see you again. Thanks for coming back and playing our club. And we'll do anything for you, you know. You got, like, big props you needed, sure, we'll move them in, we'll set them up. And the bands who weren't nice, it was kind of like you had to get yourself up to help them out. You'd be like, oh, God, those guys weren't so cool last time, but all right, we'll hump their gear anyway, whatever, you know. And so as a band, that's, like, the most important thing for us, you know, like when we go anywhere, so, like, make sure that when we leave that people feel like we're welcome coming back, you know.
So, you know, from an artist's perspective, how do you feel about the uprise of social media and the way that fans are learning about music? Because that, you know, yet again, that veil of mystery has been lifted and everyone's so accessible now.
Yeah. Oh, I love it because we've always been really accessible with our fans. When I first started, we'd get, you know, letters that looked like this, you know, and people would handwrite letters, and you'd get like 100 a year.
I don't know if they exist anymore.
Yeah, I know. You could answer 10 of them, you know, maybe over a year, and then email came in. You'd get like thousands of emails. Maybe you could respond to 100 in a year, you know. And now with social media, like, you know, we have 300,000 fans on our Facebook page that we are constantly having a dialogue with all the time, and through Twitter and through Instagram and everything else. It's really great, and I think that the best part of it is that it's democratized the way that people receive new music. You know, it used to just be the only place you'd hear new music was on like these tiny college radio stations or something, and then, you know, it would take a long time for people to get to know things, and now it's like, you know, people hear a song that they like and they send it to their friend, and now 100 people have heard that song and are fans of this song. So it's really great.
So as a final question for you, I think the fan-made video that you did was awesome. How many submissions did you get? A lot of submissions for that. It looks great.
Oh yeah, over 100 people sent stuff in, and we tried to use everything that we could in there. It was really great. We're actually going to do another one for the song "Life Is Better With You." It's coming up as our next single. But it's really awesome. You know, we look out and we see our fans, and we see such diversity. You know, we see like little young kids, you know, 6, 7, 8 years old, all the way up to people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who come to our shows. And we love that about what we do, and we always try to make the music and the show be engaging for people of, you know, all types of people. So
absolutely, it's a beautiful thing that your music and shows can bridge that generation gap, because so many times you be at a show and, like, you know, either the parents are dropping the kids off and that's it, and they're running away. And now, like, here it's like, you know, mom, the kids, you know, everybody's all in one place.
Yeah, I can't think of anything worse than having Justin Bieber babysit my kid for 2 hours.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you so much for taking a few minutes out to speak with me. I appreciate it. Is there any comments you'd like to share with fans?
Just that we started a brand new nonprofit foundation called Do It for the Love, and over the years we've had a lot of people show up at our concerts who say, "No, I have a friend who's just really close to dying, or I have a friend who has a severe disability or something, and they would love to meet you and come to your show." So we started this foundation that brings people with advanced stages of life-threatening illness and people with severe disabilities and wounded veterans to concerts. And not just our concert, but you can write to doitforthelove.org. And if you see that there's a band that's coming to your town, when you want to go see their show, we'll hook it up for you so you can get into the show for free and you know, celebrate those moments with your family, because it means a lot to people who are you know, in their last stages of their life, to be able to have those moments and memories of celebration with their families.
Absolutely. Have you had a lot of artists express interest with this?
Yeah, so many, and tons of, you know, fans. Almost every night we have someone coming tonight who's one of our Do It for the Love families who's really sick, and almost every night we have somebody at our show who's that, and we just started a few weeks ago with the website, so if people want to know about it, want to know how they can get involved in helping with it, just go to doitforthelove.org.
Awesome. Well, we'll certainly be sure that our site visitors check that out, and definitely we will keep stay tuned for like new music video and more touring. Thank you so much.
Thank you.